Oh, good morning, everybody. This is DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlemagne the God.
Yes, sir.
And we here, episode 10, not of the Breakfast Club. This for the Reckoning podcast.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming back, joining us today. If you don't recognize the dude sitting next to me on the couch, Bugzy, I don't know how we gonna make this interview work because I'm sitting over here. I think I'm gonna turn this way,
Yeah.
so I can look you in your eye. How you feeling today, man?
I'm great. I'm scared to leave my mic though. Yeah, I'm doing good. How you feeling?
Good, man. We just surfed through a hurricane trying to
Yeah.
get here. I think our lives almost ended, maybe 2, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, I brought y'all out here with the bad weather, but that's that good commitment.
I say, there's a storm coming behind us, and it was a prelude of things to come, man.
Oh man.
Once we got into the studio, and Bugzy Blaccck previewed some of the tracks
Yes, sir.
that he's been working on. I'm gonna have to y'all let me know in the comments, man, what y'all think of this new UK drill that's bubbling up. But it seemed like both B and Bugzy Blaccck is moving in that direction.
Yeah, only the Reckoning get my exclusives. That's it. Nobody else.
Yeah, man. I guess my first question, Bugzy, is even the conversation that we was just having off the camera. What would you say is like your sound, your pocket when it comes to making music? Is there like a certain kind of instrumental that you really just prefer to go off on?
I tend to go like in different phases depending on the project I'm working on. So like this one, I told you like, yeah, I got some things that kind of sound like a little bit of UK drill with the doo-doo-doo, the drops and everything. Yeah. So I like really love that, especially recently, like once that last Kanye album, the Donda one came out, and that Fabio foreign track came out. Like I really, yeah.
Oh, you did a freestyle of that too.
Yeah, I got super obsessed with that little noise. So I was like, oh, I gotta make something out of this.
I don't know how they created. Do you know what it's called? That slide-in bass.
I don't know. It's something distorted. I know. That's all I could say.
Something distorted, man. But it's just like something that it clicks and hits you with this.
Yeah, it's like you could feel it like in your soul. Like it's like how the 808s came out like years ago, and everybody was like, "That's the one."
Yeah. And now this you can tell in the 2020s that I don't know. We was talking about this actually, me and the cameraman who will not be named because he don't like to be named on camera. But we was trying to think about where that drill sound really originated from, and he said Chicago, I said Chicago with Chief Keef, but. And there was what Pop Smoke did in New York.
Yeah. So the original drill sound, to my knowledge, it originated like in Chicago when Chief Keef, Lil Durk, JoJo, and all them were coming up. What was that? Like 2012-ish, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's when it like became popular mainstream at least. So I don't know if it was like in Nebraska before that or whatever, but
Nebraska drill.
Yeah, the corn drill. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it was something before that.
That shit I don't
But that was like when I noticed it started to get popularized, and then like trap, it kind of morphed. So there's like subgenres of a subgenre of a subgenre. Yeah. So then you get like other types of drill, and then it went to like New York had their own drill, but then it was like UK like made a spin on that, and then Pop Smoke was like, "What y'all got going on over there?" Yeah.
He brought it back to America, man.
Yeah.
But I guess in terms of your style, your sound, the latest album is called The Album. T.H.E. It stands for The Humongous Effect.
Yes, sir. You did your homework.
I did my homework. You're Bugzy Blaccck. We have to know.
Hell yeah.
But it seemed like the style in the album was not what the Generation Z is bumping. It seemed like, but it's also not like. Shout out to Apex 301. I know he watching this.
My dog.
I'll see you in 3 weeks, Apex. But when I think about Apex's rhyming, it's the boom bap, it's the soul, it's the 90s, and you have elements of that in your sound, but it's not quite as gutter 90s as perhaps the Apex. How would you describe it in your own words, the sound of the album?
So in one word, it's like eclectic. You know what I mean? Like I'm super into variety. All my favorite artists are like they can make this boom bap super rapidy rap song, but they can also make this funny song, or they can also make this song that would be a hit on the radio. So that's always what I aspired to do, and that kind of almost ruined the album because I was going in so many different directions. I was like, well, I gotta have Southside on here, but it's like. Yeah, but it's like, how's that going to fit with Origins? And what about these love songs? Like, so rather than making the story of the album, I kind of just made all the songs, and I was like, how am I going to put all this together and make it seem like I'm not just throwing stuff out?
One thing I got to ask just off the rip, because when I said, yo, send me your tracks, like, what's the catalog? I seen the album. I said, 29 tracks. I said, that's a long-ass album, dog. What was the because people was dropping EPs like LPs with 12 tracks. What was the 29 about?
So that's like the biggest criticism I've gotten on that album. Like, I love the album, but there wasn't a lot of songs. So it looks bad, right? But if you were there in the moment, I noticed it beforehand. I was like, all right, guys, listen. It's technically 2 albums. Hey. It's A side, and then it's a B side, and then it's a deluxe. And I kept like putting the track list out, and then everybody still came up like, bro, that's a lot of songs. I was like, no, it's the deluxe edition. Listen, please.
It's the deluxe. So, all right, so it's really 3 albums in one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the A side, which has like more of the mainstream stuff. That's where like Southside, and I got a song with Shelly the MC on there. Like those songs, like are things that like could probably hit the radio and kind of take off. And then the B side is for like all my hardcore fans. It's like, nah, what's your life like, you know? So that's where you got Origins. That's where you got like me crying about my legacy, and that's where you like got me arguing with myself. So yeah, and then you got the deluxe where I was just like, this doesn't fit in the story. Right. But y'all should still get these songs. Like, dope, man. Like I was gonna actually sell that song like on some ghostwriting stuff. Yeah. And then they was like, nah, you should keep this. And I was like, but
that's your baby.
But it don't fit.
It don't fit. It's a bonus track.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed was the skits throughout. You talk about your influences a little bit. Like, I don't know if you saw the post I made. I think you did on the SoundCloud. I'm not the SoundCloud. The Reckoning Instagram. I was like interview prep, and then the song I put over it was the Rock Boys. The night, because I was watching the Champion video. And it was kind of like, I thought Jay-Z was about to get up, say, Speed. First of all, thank my connect. Who are your influences, man? Because I could tell you what I think your influences are, but I'd rather hear it from the man.
I want to hear what you think mine are.
All right, I'll tell you this. I think you're influenced by Hov, Jay-Z. Okay. I think the skits were very Eminem-esque.
Okay.
The skits also reminded me of the College Dropout. Especially the cipher at the end. I thought it's the last. I said toast, motherfucker. Nah.
Oh yeah, okay.
What do you think? Is that fair?
Yeah. So I have like a top 5 favorite rappers list who I get influence from, and then I have like people who I wouldn't say are my top 5, but like I clearly am like, oh damn, that's so cool that you did that. So yeah, you're right. For like ever, like all the way up till like 2017 probably, Eminem was like my number 1 favorite rapper. Right. And there's like this whole story about how I like really got into rap because of a lost Eminem CD left at my house after a party. And I was like, what's this? You know?
Which album?
The Eminem Show. Oh, yeah, that was the first album I like ever played like front to back like multiple times. Cause like somebody left it at my house after like a party, like I said, and like my internet went out. Like, so I didn't have like anything in the house. I was just like, all right, let's see what this is about. Put it in the computer, playing like solitaire and Minesweeper shit.
The pinball game.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, this man is angry.
Interesting. So Eminem, he's one of those guys.
Yeah. Of course, Hov. Yeah, of course, Hov. Hov right now, I think, is my favorite rapper. I'm always excited to see what he does. Of all time? Not of all. He's my favorite of all time. I'm not gonna say he's the best of all time because I can name people better. But there's no album I'm more excited for right now than Hov, except maybe Ab-Soul. That's because it's been like 6 years.
Really, Ab-Soul? Not many people say that.
Ab-Soul is like, to me, he's the best rapper to come out in at least like the last 10, 12 years.
Really?
Yeah.
More than Kendrick?
More than Kendrick, yeah. I love Kendrick, and I love Kendrick. Last album, classic. Album before that wasn't my favorite, but the two before that, classics. Ab-Soul though, like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a riot around the Reckoning, the Reckoning podcast.
It's just the Reckoning now.
Episode 11 is up. But no, yeah, my man Absol, he has like some of my favorite verses of all time. And he's like the only rapper I could see like me saying myself like in person and being like, oh, you know. Yeah, like I can see, I really feel like I can see Jay-Z right now and be like, oh, it's Hov, play it cool. But I see Absol in person, I'm like, oh shit, it's the Blacklit Pastor. What?
What disease does he have? It's Steven Johnson syndrome.
Yeah, Steven Johnson syndrome.
Shout
when
out
he was 6 years old. Like, oh man.
Man, and the skin from his lips peeled off. That's why he wears the sunglasses like that.
Yeah, he got his corneas got scarred and everything. Like, I found out about Absol. Like, I know this is a tangent, but I found out about Absol from like Section 80 Kendrick album.
Really?
He got this song called Absol's Outro, and I was like, yo, who was spitting like this?
So you think he the nicest on the T.D.E. roster?
Oh yeah, for sure. And Kendrick, like, it makes sense that Kendrick is like the biggest, and of course he's leaving now. But like,
yeah, that's kind of weird. Whole time, I don't know. Shit, I still haven't heard a new Kendrick album.
You haven't heard the new Kendrick album?
No, cause I tell this. Every Kendrick album, shout out to Kelsey Obeyway, I know he watching this. Every Kendrick album to me is like blazed into my memory in terms of like a moment in time. The first time I heard Good Kid, Mad City in 2012, I know where I was. When To Pimp a Butterfly came out and That Loving You Was Complicated, I knew where I was. When Damn came out and the Fear record, Lord, I got chills even singing that.
Oh man.
But I needed my mind to be in the right spot, I feel like, to receive the new. It's like he a prophet in my eyes.
Yo, Kendrick is a god MC for sure. Like, love Kendrick. Kendrick deserves all the success and fame he gets.
But you put Absol over
like, man, oh man, like, cause you know, like when you really get into somebody and you're like, you hear like maybe that one album or that one song. Like, I got an Absol when Control System came out, which is highly considered like his best album. And like I was listening to it and I was like, oh, this is super cool. Like, yeah, I can see why people mess with Absol. And then like the last song comes on, which is Book of Soul.
Oh, that's my favorite.
And I was like, oh, I gotta look at everything he's ever done now. And then like I went through the whole catalog and I was like, yeah, I'm a stan. Like, yeah, Herbert Anthony Stevens, make them break ends before we break even. Like,
all right. So my man inspired by Absol, but also the classics, the Eminems, the Jay-Z,
Kanye too, Wayne. I got a lot of my metaphorical stuff, punchline stuff from Wayne. Oh man, like I could just say like name people like Tyler. Like it can go all day. Don't let me get off.
But you have a sound that, like I said, is not. It's not like, oh, he sounds exactly like this dude. It's like, no, you have something that is unique to you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like I think it's on the track Origins. You mentioned how you got in the game, came in the game. I guess specific to you, Bugzy, like, where does hip hop enter into the picture in your life? Describe your early life and how you got into this game, man.
Okay, so this is like a weird story.
Yes, the weirder the better.
So I gotta start with you remember I remember you were like bumping my catalog and you were like, oh, did you have anything else I should listen to? Yeah. And I was just like, oh, I forgot to tell him about the Prodigal series. So Prodigal is actually a duo, different from Black I.C.E. Shout out, boys, Black I.C.E.
Shout out, boys. I'll get you next time, homie.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
But Prodigal is a duo, which is me and Charles Burrow, who's actually my dad.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's a rapper, show promoter, DJ. Like and you know he old, so he like lives the DJ stuff. Like he was like with the Pillars. He won't tell me that he was breakdancing, but I could feel it in my soul. Like, with the cardboard box.
Yeah. He a beat boy.
Yeah. So my dad, he's been rapping forever. He had a group forever, and he tells me stories about how he would like bring me to the studio, and I would just spit like little garbage child freestyles. Yeah. But he won't specifically tell me what album it's on, so I just like am combing over his whole catalog. I'm like, you trying to run your streams up off me? Like, what are you doing? And I vaguely have these memories of like being in front of a mic as a young child. So that it got started way back then, but back then I wasn't thinking like I want to be a rapper. I'm going to make music. That didn't happen until like I was in middle school, and, you know. While people were like falling in with like drugs, I was like, what y'all cypher? Y'all rapping over here? You know?
I wasn't doing no drugs, nothing. Yeah. That's actually something I had planned to ask you a little bit later on, but I asked you in the DMs. I slid in the DMs. I was like, Bugzy, do you smoke weed? And he said, no drugs and alcohol so I can get the signal clear. Shout out to Andre 3000. I want, and it seemed to me, you said voice be, oh, never mind. I don't know if his work be watching. Listen, why sobriety, man? Because we in this room smelling like reefer. Right. There's alcohol sitting on the table, but Bugzy Blaccck is completely sober. Why is that?
Oh man, you wouldn't even believe me if I could count how many blunts try to get past me in the studio. Like just how many rotations have just been around me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually straight edge.
Really?
Yeah, I made that decision like like I already wasn't doing it, and then I found out there was a word for it, and I was like, oh, I can attach myself to this so people take me seriously, you know? Because when you're like, oh, I don't drink, people are like, you haven't tried it yet. Come on, get fucked up with me. But like when you're like, oh, I'm straight edge, they're like, oh, it's a lifestyle choice. Oh yeah. I guess I respect it, you know? Like yeah, I found out about like straight edgeness in like high school. Like I was like a fucking geek, so so of course I was watching wrestling on Friday nights.
Yes.
My boy CM Punk. That was my favorite wrestler. Probably still is my favorite wrestler. I already came back, and that's when I like first heard like what straight edge was, and then I was also a fucking hood nerd, so I was watching
the hood nerd.
Yeah, you know we're a rare breed. You know where you can find us. We're powerful people. But I was also watching Gangland.
Okay.
And there was this. They weren't even like a gang. They were like a club, but they were called like FSU. And they like got started in Boston, all types of stuff. And then that was like the second time I heard about what straight edge was. I was like, wait, so they're a gang?
It's a gang.
But they're like, we beat up drug dealers and we don't do drugs and like we're straight edge and shit. I was like, yo, what's going on over here? So I just started like looking into the culture, and I'm like, I even had like a tattoo.
Yeah.
But it was like my first ever tattoo by my neighbor who was like, yeah, I'll do a tattoo for you for free. And so, I was so young I didn't understand that meant this is going to be awful.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
No, I got it covered up. It was that bad. Yeah.
I can't see it.
Oh yeah. So I got it covered up with this like a year later.
Oh, that's
where
clean.
I paid like not a lot of money, like not as much as you would think for this, but yeah, I definitely had like the 3 X's and some stripes that said like straight edge or something like that. It was like something super cool. Like I think it was actually a CM Punk tattoo.
Really?
Yeah, this was like when I was mad young.
Now straight edge is something when I think about it's more the like hard rock, like CM Punk. I mean, he's like a heavy metal type dude, but do you listen to heavy metal? Is that like?
I like partake. I'm not a super big heavy metal fan, but it did get, to my understanding, started on the heavy metal scene. But it's just kind of like I don't know, like what's something like super connected to hip hop but isn't like hip hop? Like maybe if you want to say like graffiti or something.
Okay.
Like spray painting and stuff. So it's not necessarily the exact same thing, but it's just kind of wrapped up in it.
Gotcha.
So it just comes with like a certain set of rules of how you live your life and stuff. And I'm like to the bone. Like some people be like, I'm straight edge, just don't smoke weed. But I'm like the annoying vegan when you're like trying to cook a steak. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
That's an animal. He lived and died for you.
You know, I'm like, oh y'all doing what? Oh yeah, that's fine. Y'all can do it over there.
Interesting.
For me, you know, like.
Cool, man. So I mean, look, a lot of people say they need to, you know, either smoke weed, take drugs. Like a lot of rappers nowadays, it's like, oh, I'm in the booth, I pop some Molly, or I just, you know, did some crack or whatever the fuck they got going on.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do that to make these raps, which are, you said, like I told you in the booth just now, it's like you sound like a famous spitter. You know what I'm saying? That you don't sound like a local dude.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just insane. I'm already crazy. That's my secret.
You got my insane.
But yeah, no. A lot of people they say it gets their creativity flowing, and you know that's a line that's been used on me a million times. Like, yeah, bro, you're already dope. But just imagine, and I'm like, come on.
Nah, man,
like,
you don't.
Because I've seen people like super expand and be super creative with it, but I've also seen people like even, I'm not gonna say win because they could see this, but you know like. Because, you know, I'm an engineer here. We're at Fair Hill Studios, by the way. I engineer here, so I see rappers coming in and out, and I record their stuff, and I'll see them, like, hit that blunt, and then they spend, like, the next hour just trying to figure out the next line. And I'm like, it's not really a risk I'm trying to...
Isn't it interesting, like, how some people react to weed different? Because, like, I'll smoke reefer. I'll tell y'all straight up. And I was in college when I first started smoking weed, and I noticed the higher I got, the higher my grades got. Like I was a very average student prior to smoking weed, but then it put me in the zone where I could like focus and concentrate because I got like ADHD. You know what I'm saying?
How high owe you a check?
A check?
How high?
How high? Very.
Method Man.
Method Man. Yes,
I might owe you a check for your life story.
Listen, man, this is your life story we supposed to be telling. But so you sober, you're straight edge. You talked a little bit about your early life in terms of your dad being a rapper. So you kind of steeped in this hip hop culture.
I never stood a chance.
Never stood a chance.
I never stood a chance. Like I said, though, I wasn't like planning to do it. Like it was just kind of like a cool party trick, like in middle school and stuff. And then I'm at Voice. Shout out again, Voice. And again, I was a fucking nerd, so I was in band. We were like in band class together when we met in like 6th, 7th grade or something. And Voice like I've been a delinquent. I wasn't a delinquent quite yet, you know. Like I'm going to like pack my baritone up in the back room where the instruments are. And these niggas back there rapping. I'm like, yo, y'all know what's class going on?
Yo.
Is this where you've been? Like, yo, I ain't seen you in 30 minutes. Why y'all back here rapping? Like, come on. You know, like making me jump in. And that was like really my first time, like, oh, let me rap in front of people. And then I got to high school and I already had like the talent. Cause I've been getting put through the ringer by these fucking guys who just like I said, they were back there rapping during class. I was a good noodle. I was trying to like learn to play my stuff, and then like, you know, not even hiding like track. Come on, we rapping. And I'm just like, okay,
so, all right, I guess cool, man. So you was a band. I was about to ask what type of nerd when you say nerd, but you was a music kid.
Yeah, I was in band. I was in marching band. I was in classical band. I played instruments like all through since like elementary school. They changed up a good bit, but you know, like they love putting me on there too. But they love a fat kid or a tall kid on the too. Yeah, you know, like they just can't keep their hands up. They're like, oh, I know what you can play, and I'm like, guitar?
No, judge not. Yes, he be judged. All right, let's see what I want to ask you, man. Look, okay, so the intro track or the album, I think it's the intro track, but it's basically a bunch of people saying Bugzy Blaccck. It sounds like just like a bunch of people showing love and accolades. Like, who are those people?
Those are all like real events. Like those, none of those were like talking in the studio. Like, I know one of them was from like an award show that was like happening in DMV a while ago, and a couple of them was from interviews, and one of them was actually my dad. One of them was Voice. You know, like, so I was just trying to get all the times I could hear people like saying my name like in that to like kind of make it dope. And I was mad because I couldn't get like I had like a lot more, but some of them were like with songs where I couldn't like strip them from the beat, or you know, they were like on Instagram videos where I couldn't like take the audio. So I was just like, damn it. I guess like it's like 7 on there. I'm like, I guess this is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be
the point across.
But you're like, it's because even just off that basic, off that first track, I'm like, all right, this is a dude that gets around in terms of his stuff is out there. He has received accolades.
Absolutely.
I guess just in keeping with the progression, so you talk about middle school, you know, being steeped in the music, you met Rakeef the Voice.
Rakeef the Voice, yes sir.
But y'all had a 4-pack before the current duo, which I'll get to in a minute. But tell me about the Team Apex situation, because that seems to be very much a part of what's gotten you to this point.
So Team Apex, that's a group that was made by me and another guy named DJU. And that was like way back in high school. And it had like a couple different names. Like it was like Militia Mafia and some other stuff.
Nice.
And, then we changed it to Team Apex. And we had like some people in it at first that aren't like, we were always the foursome, but then like the first foursome isn't the last foursome.
They rotate out.
Yeah, you know, we had like 2 other guys, and it was like, okay, we're about to do this, and I was like, y'all ready? And then they didn't show up. I was like, yo, we all right, what's going on? So like, you know, like they just stopped hitting me up. Like it was like, for all intents and purposes, like blocked. Like nobody's just coming. Okay. I was like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then we got our homie Crisis, who grew up in a neighborhood that we all lived in. You know, he's kind of like a younger dude. Like, I kind of knew him as a younger dude. Then one day he was like, yo, I heard y'all be rapping. You know, like,
so where you came up?
Okay.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, you know, I'm like, all right, like spit something. And then he spit something. I was like, okay, you know. Brought him over, and then I was like, we need, I just felt like we needed one more person. And the DJ was like, all right, how about this person? How about that person? How about that person? I'm like, no. And then I see my boy Rakif on Facebook. Like, he's like doing these freestyle challenges and stuff. And you know, of course I knew he rapped, but at this point he's living in Mississippi at this time, I think, or Texas, one of them. Wow. Yeah, I think Mississippi at this point. So he's like thousands of miles away either way. And I just see him like cooking up this steam on Facebook. I'm like, yo, man, what you got cooking over there?
Yeah.
So we invited him over. He was like more than happy to come with us. We started doing photo shoots. But then and he had like just released a project. I really want to get all the plugs in.
Yeah, plug it. Come on.
Voice Was Here, which was his first mixtape. And he was like kind of unhappy with the people he was working with, and you know, I came in like dirty macking, like damn, I would get your mixtape on DatPiff.
Yeah,
like,
I would do. It's
like
easy.
He did what? What? He wouldn't make you a SoundCloud? Oh, that's crazy. You know, so yeah, he started fucking with us. We started like linking up, did a couple tracks together. We were supposed to do a duo project. That was like one of the first things we talked about. Like, this is back when Uvu was a thing, if you remember that.
I do.
We were talking on Uvu, like, yeah, bro, let's make this project happen, like Voice and Bugzy. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And like, now it's about to come out. Like,
I say, and that brings us to the Blaccck I.C.E.
Yeah.
The first question I want to ask about Blaccck I.C.E. is what do the triple C's represent? Because that's from your moniker, correct? Bugzy Blaccck with 3 C's. Does it stand for something?
So let me first say credit where credit due, because Voice came up with that idea. I don't want to take nothing from him. So if I answer these questions wrong, I'm sure he's going to come in the next interview, be like, actually, Bugsy's fucking stupid. But you know, that's cool. So the 3 C's, like you said, is from my name. It's just stylized in my name to make it stand out apart from the 1,000 other people who share similar names. Right. For some reason, Bugzy Malone is still coming up when you type my name in.
That happened to me.
Yeah, I'm like, why? But he's not though. But
it was hard to find Bugzy Blaccck. Like, I could not get to the album when I was searching on YouTube. Yeah. I had to go back to what you linked me on Instagram.
Yeah, if you type in like my name like fully, and you scroll down a bit, like I'm there.
Yeah.
It's just Bugzy Malone has been like blocking the shit out of me for like 5 years now, and I'm just like, move out the way, like let me up, you know. So yeah, that was and that was a stylized choice by my dad, Charles Brown, to, you know, branch me out. The ice part is from, you know, Voice. If you hadn't like gotten that, the I.C.E. from Voice. Oh. But that actually is an acronym which stands for Intelligent Creative MCs.
Nice.
Yeah. Again, I'm not smart enough to think of this. This is all Voice. He just came up to me and I was like, you know, you're trying to like downplay. You like, oh, that's cool, and I'm in my head like, damn, this nigga snap. Yeah.
So you and the Voice have like I guess a unique kind of relationship musically. Are y'all like really good friends apart from the music, or?
Yeah, that's my dog. Like I said, we've been together. We've been rapping together since middle school for real. When he left, he was in Mississippi at a point. Then he came back. We started doing like photo shoots and stuff together. Then he left again and went to Texas. I was like, all right.
Where you go?
But he was like recording, and he got his other mixtape, Walking Boombox, available on DatPiff.
DatPiff, world premiere.
Which I feature on, and which he recorded that in Texas, and it has like a really cool album art too. Just look it up for that at least. And then like when he came back from Texas, like he was like, yeah, I want to come down and work on the music, and we became roommates. Like me, him, and DJ like all lived in the same house for like a couple years, you know. So that's my dog for sure. We just took if we weren't, it was definitely going to show. We just took like an 9-hour road trip to fucking New England last month, and we were just chilling, you know. We were just vibing. Like, we're singing like the Collision course. He's doing the Linkin Park parts. I'm doing the Jay-Z part.
I'm so
yeah, you know. I'm like, yeah, man, this is all right.
Why.
I'm like, all right, man. Yeah, so that's my dog. We always making the music. We hang out whenever I come down. I try to like stop by, see what he's on.
That's what's up, man. All right. So Blaccck I.C.E is popping. Y'all have been making music a little bit together, a little bit separate. What's in the works right now in terms of the Blaccck I.C.E debut?
So, it's always like pretty hard to make like a collab project from an artist standpoint because when both of you are like 50-50, you have to get like both people's opinions, you know, and it's like, oh, I like that, well, I don't like that, you know. That becomes difficult unless, you know, like with my Prodigal projects, we tend to like pick which one of us is going to like lead the way for which project. But me and Voice, you know, we both really respect each other. And that's just a long way to say like, I'm holding it up. Like, it's almost ready. We're getting stuff together. We're going to start shooting some videos soon. And Voice like, yeah, man, I think we just got to get these skits knocked out. And I'm like, you sure I don't need one more song?
It's going to be 30 tracks by the end.
Do not let me go crazy, Voice.
Okay. Are you gonna say the date on the Reckoning podcast when people can look for that, or is it's not determined yet?
Me thinking about like what month it is now is like stressful, but it's May. So if I'm my best guess, my best hope would be fall.
Okay.
We could probably push it out like summer, but you know.
Okay.
Not many people try to hear like hardcore hip hop like in the summer.
It's already too hot,
right? You know, like they're already angry, so you gotta wait till the leaves start falling. Like that, once that first leaf turn orange, it's like, all right, album mode. You know,
Bugzy, the crime rate is up. You can't put this out yet.
The crime rate definitely spiking when Blaccck I.C.E come out.
Oh man! All right, listen. All right, so we're talking about the crime rate. You mentioned on a couple of the tracks that you was a bad kid. Now you was a hood nerd, but you was in the bad classes. That's what you said. Was you somebody that was like squabbling up, that was fighting people, or what got you put into those kind of those classes?
So I always been super nerdy, you know. Like I always had nerd interests.
Right.
And like even in like 9th-ish grade, that kind of like got me bullied, you know what I mean? Like I got to high school. I won't say that high school because I fucking hate it.
Fuck that.
Even though we shot a video, it's Potomac, it's fine. Like it's fine.
Winston Churchill. Shout out.
Yeah, I got bullied a little bit in 9th grade.
Me too, boss.
You know,
I know how that goes.
Yeah, but then like then 10th grade came, like, and over that summer I had like that good growth spurt. I went from like 5'5" to like 6'2", and they were like, "Oh, you looking cool, Trey? Like, how you doing?" Like, you know,
they talk a little different now.
Yeah, so around that time, that's when like girls like finally started like really notice me, and I was like, I gotta do what? Like that's all I gotta do? Like,
yeah.
Like that's it. So then I like started wilding, and school became trash, and I just started skipping. Like so much. Don't skip school, y'all. This is so trash.
Stay in school, man. At least graduate high school. That's why I tell everybody to do.
I was skipping like crazy. Like I was damn near addicted, and we wasn't like doing shit. We're just like going to McDonald's, but at like 11 a.m. is like a 17-year-old. That was the coolest shit ever.
All right, so you was a bad kid. I see.
Yeah, we used to do wild shit off the record. We used to do wild shit.
Okay. All right, I got you. You mentioned, all right, so it's nothing too crazy when it comes to that, but you mentioned a couple times, I guess, struggling with mental health, specifically like depression, even one bar that suggested that you lost a wife. Like, it sounded like you've been through some hard times, and I don't know how much you want to disclose about that, but it was something that stuck out to me.
Yeah, no, I'm an open book at this point. Like, everything in the past, it's all left. Like, I didn't did my hard time, and now I'm like, you know, like I'd be surprised at how unbothered I'd be. I'd be kind of scared, like, damn, bro, you ain't sad about this, like, no.
That's
like
we
chill.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, I had a lot going on. Everything on all my projects, at least the good ones, before, like, after I was going through like my fake thug phase back in like 2010.
Yeah. Like
ever since then, like it's all been real and everything taken from my life and being honest. But on things like Black Sheep and the album. I'm trying to tell like a cohesive story, just weave through like my personal experiences, you know, just skipping a lot of parts and bringing it up like, oh, what if this happened right after this? So yeah, I did. I lost a wife. She didn't die. Like,
I thought she was dead, bro.
Yeah, she's not dead. She had some issues. We were engaged, and that didn't end up working out.
How old are you?
Now I'm 29.
Okay.
Back then, I was very young. I was like 23 or something.
Everybody be trying to get married at the age of 23. Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Oh man.
I got somebody in the room right now who can talk about a successful relationship at that age, but this is Bugzy Blaccck's interview, man.
Nah, man, I was not successful at all. I was engaged and it was not working out. But yeah, a lot of stuff. I had depression like way back in high school. I'm not super old, but I'm old enough to be able to say that I had depression at a time where like didn't nobody really care if you had depression. Like I didn't even know what it was. I was just like, damn, bro, man up. Like talking to myself, like, why you so sad over this bitch?
Let's say, hey, man, because that's real life.
Yeah. Now it's like people would have been like, oh, you depressed? You gotta go see a therapist.
Yeah.
Which I suggest for people, like, go see that therapist, bro. Nobody told me to see a therapist. Everybody was just like, you all right? You want to get some bitches? No, I don't want to get bitches.
No, I'm too sad for that.
Come on, bro. We got the bitches. Like, all right, take me to the bitches.
Is that something that you still struggle with, or is it something that you've kind of gotten past?
I do have certain times where I do deal with it. Like, I don't know if I'm spilling this out. I don't know if it's on the last album or the next album where I talk about like suicidal tendencies and stuff. So I did struggle with that at a point. Now I'm pretty good off that. I still have the depression, but I've never been like, oh man, I shouldn't be here. Like, no, I'm like, no, I should be here.
I should be
like,
here. You should be here.
Yeah, so I get sad, but I'm not there. So that always lets me know, all right, some progress is made. And Secret Sauce, the next album, like delves heavily into that subject matter and depression, and I try to capture like a lot of those feelings, and I think I did pretty good. The last song on it is actually, I'm actually pretty afraid to put it out. I feel like it's very triggering, but I sent it over to Apex and Voice actually yesterday.
For real?
I was like, yo, do y'all think I should like redo this song? And I was like, nah, bro, put that shit out. And I was like,
yeah, so they the ones to listen to. All right, well, I'll be looking forward to hearing that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out, man, as a fellow traveler in the depression game. Shout out to you for sticking around, man, for not leaving us, because man, there's too many people making that decision. But your life is important. If you watching this, you going through it, man, listen to Bugzy Blaccck, listen to myself, people that's more than conquerors in this game, you know what I'm saying? My next question, Bugs, and you talk about stuff you didn't want to put out. It's like I didn't know if I wanted to ask this question because I didn't want you to interpret it disrespectfully.
Oh no, man, we best friends.
Yeah, we best friends. I just met you today, but we cool, man. One thing I did notice when I was like going through the catalog, it was like, do these dudes not be posting their stuff to Instagram or Facebook, because the plays was not very high, and what I'm listening to is high quality music. Like this record is fire. You should be famous, but you're not. And not only you not famous, it don't seem like there's any type of like, what's the marketing strategy, man? Because I'm just not understanding.
Yeah, that's me. I make music and I really like the music, and I only overall recently kind of became my own favorite rapper. So before that, I felt like maybe I had a bit of a mental block. Don't nobody want to hear this shit. You know what I mean? Oh man,
no.
Yeah, I could talk it, and like if anybody ever asked me, I'd be like, nah, man, best rapper alive. What you talking about? But in my head, I'm like, man, don't nobody want this SoundCloud link. So it's only like more recently become a thing where I'm like, all right, this is like a quality project.
Hell
People should hear this. But even then, it's like I'm not a super social media guy, so I have to rely on other people to like kind of make these plays for me. Because I can like talk about logistics and I can be like, oh, this is what we need to do. But like making that Instagram post, I'm just like, geez, like that's probably something to do with depression too, where I'm just like, God, spending 45 seconds of my life making this post. Oh no.
No, it's exhausting, dude. Between trying to run my personal Instagram, the Reckoning, the Facebook, all of that, and I'm the only guy that does it. Like I spend hours and hours a day doing this stuff, and it's something like that an intern I feel like should be focused on. So you more concentrated on the art and the quality of the product, and not so much the logistic back end of it.
Right, which is horrible. Don't follow my example. But an excuse I do have, my saving grace, is my dad, who does help me out, who does promote me, who does like get my music on certain playlists where it can be heard. So every now and again, if you go to my Spotify, because the other ones don't really tell you how many times the song has been played, but Spotify will tell you. So every now and again, he'll put me like on this playlist or that playlist or that playlist, and he'll curate playlist. And then like one of my songs will shoot up. Like when we were really pushing the Champion video.
That had like 18,000 views. I was like, whoa.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah, like your
The
visuals. No, your visuals be popping off like 20,000, 18,000.
Yeah.
But then one of the tracks would be like 20. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it's like, it's so hard. Like you can put it in front of people and people will even be like, oh, that's dope. Like we have this song called Muscle Man, me and my dad, Prodigal. And that song did really well, and it got entered in like a contest with World Star Hip Hop. So like hella people were seeing it, and you get like, it reflects in the views where that was like super good. But it's like, for some reason, the catching of these people, like they'll be like, oh, this is so cool. Oh, father-son duo. Oh, real hip hop's back. Yeah. But like all the other numbers stand the same. Like, no, the subscribe. It's in the description. Please, bro.
Make sure y'all subscribe to this, to Bugzy Blaccck and to the Recommend. Because it's hard, because I know exactly what you mean. It's like people, oh, that's very nice, and then they scroll right past it.
Yeah, so like my dad would put like a lot of time and effort into getting it in front of people and getting those people back. You know, he'll do like Instagram campaigns. So like, I can't see him no more because I saw like some of the first ones he did where it's like, oh, here's Champion by Bugzy Blaccck, and like it'll have like a bunch of comments, and then I'll like look at it because it's like a sponsored video, and it just people get showed it, and then you'll have like the good comments, and then you have like the really bad comments, and then like, yeah, nah, y'all just go ahead and keep doing what you do. Like, I'm not talking to y'all.
No, man, the haters is like absolutely essential. Hey, shout out to Green Light Talk, man. They was on episode 3. But Mark Green, he mentioned something that I found profound, and it's the rule of 10, talking about, say you put out a song or a project, it's going to be right off the rip 4 people that's messing with it, 4 people that don't, and then 2 that simply just don't care. And that's something that I have found helpful, even with putting my own art out there, is that understanding that it can be as good as like Illmatic, but you know, certain people gonna hear it and just be like, you know, that's not for me, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people might be like, I hate this shit. It's not, you know, but there's gonna be people that is fans of it. And I don't even know why I say all that, man. Just to say that Bugzy Blaccck is a cold artist. He's a dope rapper, man. Before we get to because I'm getting to like the bottom third of this, and I know people don't be watching to like the very, very end. Where can people find your stuff on the internet?
So I'm on all digital streaming platform DSPs. Bugzy Blaccck, Bugzy Blaccck. You can find my last album, The Album. You can also find some of my mixtapes on DatPiff. All of my mixtapes are on DatPiff. Some of them are on SoundCloud. Go listen to Black Sheep. Maybe Year of the Rabbit if you have some time. That was
maybe
that was from 2015. I'm like, definitely listen to both of the Prodigal projects. We got The Sun's Return and Icons, which is what I should have told you to listen to, because that's actually interesting. We actually have industry people on that album. Yeah, okay. Like there's like a Corrupt feature, and like,
oh my god,
Razcast is on there, Planet Asia. So it's like there's like cool industry people on that. Go get Icons. That's on all DSPs right now.
Icon, all DSPs.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. So Bugzy Blaccck, he prolific in the game. We're talking about the most recent album, T.H.E, the Humongulous, right?
Yeah, Humunculus.
Yeah. All right. So in the skits, right, in the album, it's kind of, especially like the first part of the album, you're kind of being like tormented by this like kind of demonic figure, and the name don't get mentioned until like towards the very end. So I'm like, listen, I'm like, is he making a deal with the devil? Is it like his conscience talking to him?
Yeah.
But then towards the end, it's revealed, no, it was the Humongulous that was talking to you. And I'm wondering if you could just describe who is that person as he relates to your creative process.
So, the Humunculus, I read like so much on this when I was like making the album and shit. Because the album name changed like a bunch of times. Like I was gonna call it like Dead Poet Society and the Black Album.
Nice.
Because I just wanted a Jay-Z problem.
The Black Album.
But then, like, I started reading on, like, the homunculus effect. So basically, when you're creative, so you're going to know. When you're creating, a lot of times you'll have a voice in the back of your head that tells you, like, oh, nah, that's trash. Like, this ain't the one. Like, you really think people going to be fucking with this? All the bad, negative stuff. Like, not even just music. Like, if you're a painter, it's going to be like, ugh, bitch, that color. You know, like,
That's chartreuse.
Yeah, you know, like, you're a sculptor. It's like, you chipped that one? Like, ugh, couldn't have been me, you know? Like, so that inside your head is the homunculus. Homunculus, I believe, is just Latin for tiny human.
Okay.
So it's like a lot of psychology in it. It got a big mouth and a big head, and big hands. It's a whole thing. But it's the thing that's always telling you, like, these negative things about yourself. So, you know, that goes with the skits and the story of the album. And the concept is you can, like, kind of flip it to say, oh, you really gonna do that? You gonna make that chip? Like, maybe I should make another chip. Maybe I should continue making chip. Like, oh, you really gonna do that song? Then maybe I'll make another song that sounds even better. You know, to kind of push you. But again, I'm crazy, so maybe don't do what I do, because that's how you get like 30-song albums probably.
Who does that?
You know, so that's just how I use it. You know, it's about taking negatives and like turning them into positives for the efforts that you want to achieve. You know what I mean?
As the album progresses, it's like kind of like almost at the start, it's like you're just being beaten down by the homunculus. It's like, man, this guy's just rapping. You can't get.
He was getting the shit off.
Yeah, you just be like, man, you can't shake him. But then towards the end, there's a progression, and it's like you, as the main character, I guess, are able to like tell him like, nah, I don't need you. How have you been able to overcome the homunculus effect?
So like I said, I only recently became like my favorite rapper. I'm my favorite rapper. I can say it in positive, with positive everything. Like, I'm my favorite rapper, hands down, best rapper alive, Bugzy Blaccck. Can't nobody tell me different.
Bugzy Blaccck, best rapper alive.
Yeah, you know, because when you listen to rap, you want to hear like people, like at least me, I like when people like talk about experiences that I've had and say it in like super cool and like defining ways, you know, like with the Absol, even like when it's stuff I haven't dealt with, like Absol stuff. It's like, damn, he said this in like such a cool way that I just like felt it. Like, that's like the real key of like elite rapper status to me. And it was something I haven't even noticed for like years of rapping. And I was just like, damn, why my shit ain't hitting like they shit hitting? And it was like, oh, word structure and word choice. So I had to like start studying English language. I was like, damn, every time I think I got out the shit, he pulled me back. Like,
pull me back
to class. So I like started studying it, and even like in certain tracks, I'll like drop little stupid stuff that I like. That I just feel like people don't know that I've just like have nothing to do with the information. Like one song, I'm just like, boom, that's an onomatopoeia, and I'm like,
that's
you know?
The epitome so, be hitting me.
Yeah, so I'm like, so I, you know, Damn, I lost my train of thought.
That's all right, man. I'll be doing that all the time. And you sober. You're not supposed to be losing your train of thought.
I'm so excited on the Reckoning podcast.
I'm excited to have you here, man, because you are somebody that I am like legitimately a fan of. It's like, appreciate it. I think, everybody that I've had on has been cold and dope. It's like, but you like, not that I went and bumped the rest of y'all guests. Like, I do bump y'all stuff. Right. Don't get it twisted. But it's like Bugzy Blaccck. It's like, what I mean to say is, like, I am generally a fan of your stuff. So it's an honor to have you be on my show, for real. Because, thank you, man, because I see you, like, this is a dope studio setup. I mean, I seen the booth in there. It's like, this is the nicest studio I ever seen. You going places, bro.
Fairhill, yes, sir.
Yeah, you and The Voice, man. I feel like, this just the beginning for y'all.
Absolutely.
I truly believe that, man.
Actually, my bad.
No, go ahead.
The point I was making, studying the English language, figuring out what sounds good, what makes certain words hit harder, and I kind of like put a study to it to try to figure it out. Now, on the album, not all the way through the album, but like on some songs on the album, I really hit it. Now, on the next album, I feel like I'm really getting it, which is why I can talk about super strong subject matter, like I told you I'm talking about, even though this album had like been planned for like years. I was like, I got to make something super sad about this subject matter, but I just never felt like I could really like do it justice. Now I feel like I can.
Yeah.
And the moment I like really felt like, oh, Bugzy Blaccck, the best rapper alive, is actually a song nobody talks about. Nobody talks about that song when they talk about the album, but EMV3. Which stands for Early Morning Venting 3, because there are 2 other Early Morning Ventings on the projects before it.
That's on my list as far as the favorite tracks. That was my next question actually was, because I could tell you what my favorite tracks were, but what stands out to you from your own project?
So EMV3.
Okay.
That was like, I've made personal songs before, but that was the first one where I was like, this is really good word choice to really get the feelings conveyed with less talking, you know. I can't super think of how the song goes off the top of my head, but
Me
I know
neither,
it's like
man. I knew I liked it though.
Yeah, I know it's like a part where it's like I talk about my grandma dying and stuff, and like my family ain't being shit, which they not. But
I think we love the family.
yeah, you know, like, but like so that MB3, I love Legacy because that was like the perfect blend of like mainstream hood ignorance and like braggadocio. Yeah. But also like with lyrical content where I get like a lot of punchlines off in that one where I'm like I sell and I say something about an eye patch and then I lean it into Slick Rick, like it's like I say I say like love, tennis, like if I had the transcript, trust me, that shit's dope. It's hard. So those 2, Voice said his favorite is Origins. Origins ain't. I really like Origins, but it was like, you know, it was like something that had to be done. And Untitled Love Song 2.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that was actually the very last song I wrote for that album. Yeah, I was really sad when that happened. Like I was like a movie moment where you're like, I'm so sad. Find me a beat, you know.
I'm gonna kill this shit.
Yeah. Oh, and the actual outro, which is the one where I'm like, when I spread knowledge, make sure it cascade.
The Cypher one that was acapella?
No, because that's on the deluxe. On the B side, I can't think of. You might about to like look at it.
Go ahead, man. Look, this is your time.
Yeah, I gotta get my shit off so y'all know which.
Well, while you're searching that up, let me tell you what my favorites was. It was Thebes, just because it's early in the album. I'm like, whoa, this is about to be crazy. Got the South Side running. You can tell what my like style is. Pressure Origins. I had that in all caps because that was my top. Guac and EMV3 and the 7 Day Theory.
7 Day Theory, that's the one I'm saying.
Yeah, that was hard, man.
So I've always said, like, in my next interview, whenever I get to talk about the album, I'm going to talk about 7 Day Theory, because don't nobody know what 7 Day Theory about.
It's the Illuminati, right? Machiavelli.
No, so the 7 Day Theory, every word and every line is actually a metaphor for God creating everything in 7 days. Which is why I took a break on the 7th day. It's like, yeah, I made the album, and the album is equivalent to humans.
Oh, that's cold as shit.
The earphones in my ear, they're like when he created the stratosphere. Like, because in the beginning there was nothing, and it was like I came from a city of nothing. And then, like, if you have a Bible next to you and you read it while it's playing, it's like, oh shit, this really line up.
We some spiritual miracle people in this. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, I was like, damn. I was even writing. I was so sad. Because I was like in my bag, I was like, this is so hard. And nobody gonna care.
They're not even gonna listen to us.
Yeah. So I said, like, next time I got to talk about the album, I was gonna talk about that song. Open your Bibles and listen to that song, you fucking heathens.
The Book of Revelation.
Yeah, you know, like that's Genesis. Come on, man. It's the first page, first book.
It's easy. Just open it up. Let me ask you about the visuals, man, because they were very high quality, very well done. That's why I said 20,000 some odd views. It's like it's the type of stuff that travels well on the internet. It's the same media company, I think, that produce like Climbing Music. Is that what it was, or am I?
For the videos?
Yeah, it was like.
So I use a lot of different videographers.
It started with a C, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
It depends. So the DMV like music scene in general is just kind of a mess. And
speak on that, please, because that's kind of what the show focuses on.
Yeah, it's a very big mess. I've been doing this for like over a decade, and it has not become any less of a mess. We used to be like, oh, it's because of Go-Go, but Go-Go's not here right now, so you can't keep blaming it on Go-Go. Like, we just don't like each other. That's all it is. Everybody in DMV, I just gotta assume, hates each other, except for me, because I love you all, and everybody's so angry, and all y'all beefing and killing each other. Please stop, bro. We could do something like right now. Like, it could be us.
Right.
But yeah, it's so bad. So we don't help each other like, say, the golden child of Atlanta. We don't help each other like come up, except for Wale every now and again. I could get in on Wale and talk about cool shit he does, but
let's talk about this for a minute. I think we'll end the interview this way.
Okay.
Like I said, it's just been an honor to be meeting. Like, we're on a rapper run right now with this podcast, and like, rap is my favorite kind of music. So I'm just so happy what's happening. But the level of talent that I'm noticing in this DMV area, I say one of these people is gonna make it. And you speak on people helping each other come up. I really feel like that's in this season, this era, that's what we need to be doing, dog, because DC sound one way. DMV, PG, Moco, it's not a cohesive movement, but I feel like it could be.
It absolutely could be. I don't know. It's like, it seems like in Atlanta, you don't necessarily have to be on yet for people to like start fucking with you, and they'd be like, oh, I heard you in this club, because everybody in Atlanta knows each other, and we all played like random shit. So like, you can come up that way off of a Big Boy or somebody hearing your thing, like driving past, like, hey, who's that? But in the DMV, you really have to like, you're trash until you start winning. Like, that's how it is. Like, as many of like DC legends and icons and all this stuff I've like met and ran into, like the hands that have come out. Shout out to my OG Black Indian for sure. I gotta say,
I wanted to ask you about him, but I wasn't going to.
Nah, that's my dog, Black Indian. Like,
he stood out. He stood out. Yeah,
that's my man. That is a DMV legend. That is that's my guy. Like, he used to come in here all the time, and we like clicked. That's like one of the only like maybe 5 people on the planet who can like give me advice, and I like, you know, you got that person like you immediately like listen to him. You know, some people you'd be like, man, you know what you're talking about, but like when somebody says something, you're like, okay.
If you say so.
I kind of wanted to wild out, but if you saying it, you know. So yeah, like Black Indian always looked out. He's been saying for like a year, like Bugzy Blaccck, like he's been shouting me out in interviews, which is also attributed to my steam. So all love to him. Like you said, we got so many talented people, but it's like you have to. They kind of only want to work with you when you're super popping. So like, even the people who I really fuck with weren't like the heights of Wale or Logic, because people forget he's from like Moco.
He from Moco, Gaithersburg.
Yeah, even like taking the heights of heights out, you got your Rico Nasties, you know, who's probably right now the most popping out of DC. I want to say, not including, you know, like Wale and Logic. My favorite DMV rapper is IDK, and he's been working like with a lot of these people.
IDK, yeah.
Yeah, that's my dog. He had like top 2 albums of last year. And he's been working with like a lot of those people, but you know, even he wasn't like super working with them until he like started to hit a little run, and then he started getting mentioned in Double XL, which is how I even found out about him. I didn't know him because like he was just in the city. I was like, they were like, oh, what you think about this guy from DC for Double XL? And I was like, who?
I don't know.
Yeah,
IDK.
I don't know. Like, that's back when he was JIDK too, but yeah, no, that nigga's fucking nice.
He is, man.
And now, you know, he's working with like Fat Trail and
he out.
Rico Nasty and
he's
stuff.
Home.
Yeah, everybody like is like gravitating, but it's like some certain level you have to reach to so we can get that reach back. Like, even me, where I worked with like Black Indian and Shelly the MC, like they didn't like, I don't want to say like didn't do nothing, but that's also me too. Like I picked a really bad time to get that Shelly feature because that was right before she moved to Atlanta. I was like, yeah, you recorded this song, that's so great, we should shoot a video. And she was like, oh, my stuff is packed, I'm going to Atlanta next week. And
I'm out.
Like, that's rough.
Oh man. Well, shout out to Black Indian, man, because I'm glad you mentioned him. I He really had a standout verse on, I forget the name of the song, but it's towards the end of the album.
Yeah, that's Black Tears. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I wanted him on that from the beginning. Absolutely.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you did that. DMV Hip Hop, like I say, it's on the rise. Shout out Montgomery County. Shout out to PG. Did you say you were from Dickerson?
No.
Or you work in Dickerson?
I'm working Dickerson. I'm from PG. I grew up like right down the street, like by Crystal Skate Palace, you know.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you PG represent, but you know, I just like I said, man, good things is coming for Bugzy Blaccck. Good things is coming for Blaccck I.C.E.
Yes, sir.
Follow them on the gram, man. Follow them SoundCloud, all the platforms that he mentioned earlier, and because y'all have to help these dudes go up, man. Just everybody that you've seen so far that's raw, that can spit. It's like we not doing this for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time. If y'all watching this episode a year into the future, I believe that by this time next year, the price is gonna go up on Bugzy Blaccck. He not gonna want to be sitting down with the record.
I'm always coming back to the reckoning. Y'all gonna see me on like Forbes, like, hey man, you got a spot open? like episode 320. Like, what y'all got going on? I'm in the city.
Man, we always got time for Bugzy Blaccck, man. Shout out. But once again, man, I wanted to. Is there anything else that you wanted to get on wax before we wrap it up?
Yeah, follow Bugzy Blaccck, Bugzy Blaccck. Follow Rakif the Voice. Follow Black Ice. Follow Prodigal. Follow Fair Hill Studios.
Yeah, man, it's a real nice setup.
Follow the Reckoning podcast.
Yes, please, and subscribe. Subscribe to everything.
Yeah.
Bugzy Blaccck, man, shout out to you. Thank you for being here on the Reckoning.
Thank you for being here with me.
All right, y'all. See you next time.